G'day football fans and welcome back to episode 12 of our Wolves career mode here on Dylan on the Ball. My name's Dylan and today we will be taking our wonderful Wolves side on a trip to Wembley. We've got Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final, hoping to make some history, hoping to get ourselves some silverware to end this pretty good season that we've had, I think. I'd like to say that it's been a successful season regardless of what we do here today, but hopefully we can end it with... Obviously everybody wants to win a trophy, so why not? Why not us? Why not? Before that though, we do have a number of games to catch up on, so we will get right into those so we don't waste too much time. First up, it was West Ham United. We took the lead into the second half here. It was Ross Barkley. A bit awkward. We fired it in from the left-hand side there. He took a touch somehow about 4 yards out, which managed to evade Masuaku and also Fabianski there. And he drove that one into the bottom corner. West Ham then equalised. They did slide it back to the edge of the box. A couple of quick passes across to Yarmolenko. Fired it into the back of the net. And with that quick passing there, not too much our defence could really do to cope with it. If we had been in a good position to start with, maybe, but not to be. So 1-1 it was. 1-1 in the 88th minute became 2-1. Nelson Semedo made a great interception and then decided to pass it straight back to them. I think it was Manuel Lanzini that gets the goal here. You see here, Nelson Semedo just lays it on a platter for him. I'm not too sure what happened, but end of the day, it was 2-1 to West Ham and 3 points missed for us. Next up, we hosted Aston Villa. They did take the lead here through Leon Bailey, a couple of quick passes on the end of a counter-attack, and Leon Bailey, who was really their number one weapon throughout this game, got his deserved goal. There were plenty of counter-attacks that were spearheaded by Leon Bailey's pace. 82nd minute, we did equalise here. O'Neill got it down to the byline, cut it back quickly for Pedro Neto to fire one in past Emi Martinez. Couldn't do much about that one. You see he does absolutely give that a wallop. Not much the keeper could do there. Unfortunately, we couldn't do a West Ham. We couldn't bring it back to 2-1. 1-1 it would finish. Next up was Newcastle United, and starting off the scoring was Ruben Neves. We tried to cut it back across to the overlapping Ait Nouri. Somehow that made the ball pop up kindly for Ruben Neves, who does not need any second invitation, to thump that one in past Dubravka for 1-0. Magic man in midfield. Then a tackle on about halfway by Dendoncker set Raul Jimenez through. He could not believe his eyes when the ball squirted out of that challenge, put him through on goal, and no one could catch him as he put that one past Dubravka with ease for 2-0. We then couldn't believe our eyes as the Newcastle sea parted for Marcel to waltz on through, strolling as easy as you like. Not Marcel, sorry, it was Ait Nouri. Don't know my own players. He waltzed through, grabbed himself another goal before Leander Dendoncker went through late on. We had the easy option there of sliding it across for João Moutinho's old legs to get on the end of and fire past Dubravka for 4-0, would you believe it? Absolute scenes here. Then Lord Voldemort himself grabbed one back for Newcastle, making it 4-1 on the end of a counter-attack. John Shelvey played the ball through here before receiving the cut back, firing it straight down the middle, where a adjusting Jose Sarr couldn't quite get his foot on the ball enough to stop Voldemort from making it 4-1. Right as the clock was winding down, it was then 4-2. Alan Saint-Maximin grabbed a goal there. Moutinho tried to lay it back for Jose Sarr, got the pass a bit wrong. Jose Sarr didn't quite get there, probably could have committed better, but couldn't get there before Saint-Maximin had fired it past him for 4-2. That's how that one would finish. We then hosted the champions Manchester City, where after 22 minutes Daniel Podence fired us into the lead. A good one header there by Dendoncker, a turn and pass from Ruben Neves. Imagine if we had a combo of Jimenez and Neves. We'd be top of the league for sure. They then pegged us back to 1-1, where for some reason our goalkeeper, I don't think I've been quite as infuriated this season as when Jose Sa just capitulated there, just made himself as small as possible for Andre Kramaric to lift it over. And I think that might be our first draw of the season. Am I tripping? Second draw of the season. We just drew before. We then took a trip away to Goodison Park to face Everton, where you'll see the highlights do look a bit different here, and that is because there ends up being too many goals for it to show the highlights properly at the end of the game. You know, when it sort of shows about, I don't want to give anything away, but 7 out of 8 goals. That's what happened. It definitely left out this one, actually, where Hwang got us underway with a beautiful curled effort into the far post that Jordan Pickford's little arms couldn't do anything about. Hwang then grabbed another one. It did look like another absolute screamer that he put his foot all the way through, but you will see in the replay, I think it was Mason Holgate maybe, just sticks his leg out there. Who is it, sorry? Oh, it's Ben Godfrey maybe. Let's say Ben Godfrey. Sticks his toe out, which takes it away from Jordan Pickford's grasp for 2-0. Very shortly thereafter, straight from kickoff, we won the ball, and I know you'll say something about the amount of little cutback goals we are scoring, but when I saw Matasiwa strolling through for what could be his first for the club, I had to take that opportunity with both hands until we made it 4-0. Quick little move there by João Moutinho to turn his man before firing it past Jordan Pickford for 4-0, and we are on absolute cloud 9 here. Incredible performance all over them. Into the second half here, and it was João Moutinho again. This time an absolute rocket fired in off the post. He was set up by Yusuf Poulsen, a beautiful little through ball, perfect weight on the pass, where neither of the defenders could reach the ball, but it was right into the path of João Moutinho, who could run onto that one, put his foot through the ball. Nothing, just out of the reach of the small arms. Pickford there, the T-Rex. Then they gave the ball away. One pass into Yusuf Poulsen, fires it into the far corner. And we are in absolute dreamland. That is as clinical as you get. One touch to pass, one touch to control it, and the finish that the goalkeeper could do nothing about because he can't get up there. Would you believe it? We then made it 7-0. It was Tyler Robertson this time. Another, just the same old story where we won the ball high up. This time it was 2 or 3 passes rather, and then Poulsen sliding Tyler Roberts through to finish easily into the bottom corner, before João Moutinho, of all people, completed his hat-trick. It was a great through ball there from Fabio Silva off the bench, laying it on a plate for João Moutinho to fire that one across Jordan Pickford into the far bottom corner. A beautiful finish, that is exactly what you want. Low, hard, into the corner, sort of, I guess. And 8-0. That is a Dylan on the ball record for sure. That mixed bag of results does have us up into 5th. So there was 2 wins, 2 draws, and the 1 loss to West Ham. Has us equal on points with Arsenal, but those 8 goals have really put us far and away of Arsenal in 6th. And I said earlier that that might have been our second draw. We've had 6 of the things. Where have I been? What was I paying attention to? Not this, clearly. But however many draws we've had, we are 1 point away from a Champions League place. 5 games to play. You can see on the right hand side there, our next Premier League game is against Brighton Hove Albion, which results going our way, that could put us into the top 4 with 4 games to play, and that would be an absolute riot. An absolute win of a season. I'll put that one in the win column, as I'll also draw your attention to our goals for column. We're almost cracking the 100 mark with 5 games to play. That is quite an incredible achievement. Something I also want to just keep track of is who does go down, because I think that might be a good sort of realistic way to look at potentially improving the squad. So as things stand, it's not looking very good for Watford, Brentford and Norwich, sort of, I guess, a couple of the teams you'd expect to be there. For next season, look at those three teams. I guess the only sort of one that springs to mind straight away anyway, and please correct me if I'm missing anyone that you think I should be taking note of, but Ismaila Sarr is possibly a good option. I know we're potentially losing if we choose not to permanently purchase both Hwang and Trincao. So Ismaila Sarr may be a good option, whether he comes off the left or the right. Maybe we'd get some good balance if we had the left winger cutting in, but the right winger going around the outside. Like a Podence on the left, Sarr on the right. I'm theorising, who knows. But anyway, I've wasted way too much of your time, and we are yet to get into today's action, which will be the second semi-final in the FA Cup, where the winners will go forward to face Everton in the final. They got up against Manchester United 2-0. That would be an absolute dream if we could get through to that, having literally just beaten them 8-0. That would be an incredible result to get through to an FA Cup final against Everton, not having to face the better side there in Manchester United, who we have struggled against twice this season, a 4-0 and then I think it was a 3-2 loss maybe? You can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure. So the lineups for this FA Cup semi-final here at Wembley Stadium will be, for ourselves, a very strong lineup, a couple of changes to the first 11. We'll have Sarr in goals, a backline of Semedo, Cody, Kilman and Aid Nuri, midfield of Dendoncker, Neves and Ross Barkley against his old side, and then the front three of Raul Jimenez, Pedro Neto and Daniel Podence replacing Hwang. For Chelsea, a very strong lineup, one that's not too foreign from what you'd expect them to play in real life, I guess. Again, like the first time we played them, Reece James playing centre-back with Azpilicueta outside him is a bit of an odd move, but they beat us, so I can't question it. The lineup as a whole is Edouard Mendy, then across the back three is Reece James, Christensen and Rudiger, wing-backs Azpilicueta and Alonso, midfield of Jorginho and Kovacic, with the front three of Pulisic, Mount and Romelu Lukaku. A couple of tired players, but as we saw last time, that did not matter. They absolutely tore us apart towards the end of the game, if I remember it correctly. We thought we were pretty comfortable. I think we might have had a 2-goal lead and then ended up losing 3-2. Let's hope for a bit of a better performance and a more sure defensive display. Here we go, boys. Calm the nerves. Here we go. As we look out across a sea of yellow at Wembley Stadium, I will just remind you, please do subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, comment down below as we look at a Premier League ball being used in the FA Cup semi-final. There'll be a new series starting not too far away. It will be a player career season. We put a couple of polls out on the Instagram, and I think I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it will be a striker from a European country playing in the English Premier League. The specific country and the team to be decided, but make sure you tune in for that series. It should be a good one, hopefully. I hope it doesn't spill over to my players, but I gotta tell you, man, I am nervous about this one. As we'll float one in, just over the head there of Raul Jimenez. Good start. But I'm nervous. I'm never nervous about playing a video game, but something about this this opportunity and on this stage needing to perform is just absolutely getting me right now. Hopefully it doesn't show. Although, I mean, I've just told you. But that's fine. That's a terrible pass. Brilliant. I don't think we need to give them any helping hands. That's important to me. Oh, that's a good tackle by Connor Cody there. See, now these are the danger areas. We've got Pulisic running at Connor Cody. Lukaku's making his way into the box, if they can find him. Although, as we saw, didn't need anyone. Nearly put that one right into the top corner as Chelsea forced the first save of this semi-final. Jose Sarr stretching out there and palming it away for a corner kick. Well headed away, and now we might be away. If Ross Barkley can control this one, which he has, He'll bring it through the middle and get it taken off him by Neves. But he's in space. He'll have a hit. Good solid hit. Straight at the keeper though, who's given it away. We'll have a pop at the far corner here. Oh, he's... To be fair... Oh, he's giving it away again. Hopefully that keeps happening. I'm a fan of that. As I was going to say, Mendy is 8 foot... Oh, he is 8 foot tall. So trying to sort of lob it over him from a distance isn't possibly the best move. I shouldn't be nervous. I've got my biggest fan, Odie, here behind me. If you do follow us on the TikTok or the Instagram, you will have seen the debut of Odie on the Dylan on the Ball stage. Plenty more of Odie to come if that's all you're sticking around for, I reckon. Because 1, great fella. Just a great bloke. 2, just brings in the views, doesn't he? A good dog. Oh, Raul Jimenez is in. And Raul Jimenez has made it 1-0. I was sitting here talking about Odie, and maybe that's what's brought me the joy, the passion, the power to put us up 1-0. A lot of space in the midfield. We brought it forward with Barkley, gave it to Neves, who could on the turn play in Raul Jimenez to fire it past Edouard Mendy. Perhaps not the best goalkeeping if you look at it really, it's in the middle of the goals. But his defence has sold him down a river there because they were just completely open. I think there was just such a huge gap between Christensen and whoever the next closest. I guess it would have been probably Reece James. But we take that. We take the lead against Chelsea again. I mean, we did that in the first, in the league earlier in the season. I mean, as you saw in that, in the highlights earlier, we haven't conceded a bag full of goals in a while. And was it 2 clean sheets in there? Am I remembering that correctly? Raul Jimenez is in again. Oh, good challenge from Rudiger, I guess. Because if it wasn't a good challenge, it would have been a penalty. I feel like these videos are getting longer because I'm getting better at just talking through the game. Oh, Jimenez is in again. Jimenez has made it 2-0. See, this time, like both times now, we've scored. I haven't been talking about the game at all. I've just been talking. Just running my bloody mouth. Usually gets me into trouble. This time, it gets me up 2-0 against Chelsea. This time, Dendoncker played it to Ross Barkley, who was able to lay a beautiful little ball in between Christensen and Rudiger. Before this time, I'm not too critical of Edouard Mendy. He did make himself as large as he can, which is quite large. But 31 minutes in, we're up 2-0, and Chelsea, have they gone for just the once? And it was that shot from Pulisic, which was palmed away by Jose Sarr. I need something else to talk about, because first time I was talking about Odie. Second time I was talking about confidence, but outside of the specific match that we're playing confidence. This time we're having a hit with... Oh no, it doesn't work this time. Doesn't work. I'm not going to take the blame for that one though. I'm going to leave that one solely on Ross Barkley. We do know the danger of this Chelsea side, especially 2 goals down. Oh, and Pulisic is through. This time, Jose Sarr... See, that was the same sort of move as what he did... who was it against? Against Manchester City, where he, for some reason, makes himself, like, horizontal instead of trying to make him as big as possible. But this time it works out. Perhaps he just timed his run better? Oh my days, is that a joke? Is this real? That's a perfect hat-trick from Raul Jimenez in the first half in 43 minutes of an FA Cup semi-final against the European champions, the Club World Cup champions. This time it was a great overlapping run by Nelson Semedo, floating in the cross there, where Jimenez has the beating of Christensen again, who, as a whole, look, I'm a fan of Christensen. I think he is a very good player, probably going to Barcelona in the summer. But I guess that probably makes sense, because he's a bit like other defenders of theirs, like Eric Garcia, where he's not very good at the defending part, apparently. He's just let Raul Jimenez dominate him for 3 goals, and you'll see all 3 goals, if I'm remembering correctly anyway. Christensen was the man sort of trying to handball it there. Christensen was the man tasked with marking. That was really hard to say. Raul Jimenez. And the halftime whistle is gone here, with Wolves 3 goals up against Chelsea at halftime. They are going to have to do some absolute Liverpool in Istanbul type bull donkey to pull this one out. Come on, the Wolves. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just watching this. Playing this, I'm buzzing now. Hopefully, you've probably experienced or listened to how that me being buzzing goes away very quickly when they score a goal. But look, if this stays this way, or just us going through, I don't know how long this will last. Am I going to be like this at work tomorrow? Now, it was the second half last time where Chelsea did come alive, so we do have to be wary, as for some reason we've got Daniel Podence at the near post there. Very playing with fire, I guess. But we've dealt with that one well, or well enough anyway, that we can be away and play Daniel Podence, who's got the legs to push us forward here. Oh, and maybe lose the ball? No, he's kept hold of it and given it to Neves, who can hopefully, no, just win a corner. That'll do. Can you imagine how you'd feel as a Wolves fan at Wembley right now? My goodness. Like, I'm from Brisbane, and I was there when, Brisbane Roar fans will remember, Eric Partalu's equaliser in a grand final in extra time, good effort there from Neves. In extra time, I think it was possibly like 119th minute, and he pops up with an equaliser, having been down 2-0 in extra time. Incredible. That was pretty special for me as a young lad enjoying football. That was incredible. But I couldn't imagine, the cup of all domestic cups, if I could talk, as the underdog, I guess, being up 3-0 at half time. I guess it was it Wigan beat Manchester City? I'm going to say 2011 that was. Oh, I thought he was in. Oh, but we are. It's Pedro Neto. We've made it 4-0. Have I changed the difficulty? What's happened? It was Podence breaking down the right-hand side. I'm not sure what Raul Jimenez goes for there, but it worked out in the end. I guess it was maybe just a great dummy, I guess we'll call it that, before it luckily falls into the path of Pedro Neto getting there first, firing it underneath Rudiger and off Mendy, who can't keep it out, and we're in dreamland. I said that about our 8-0 against Everton, but this is something else though. This is, one, it's not a relegation candidate in Everton, and two, we're at Wembley. This is, they might be in with a chance here with Kingsley Coman on the ball in the box, and we've dealt with that one now. What is happening? Have we conceded? No, that's a stupid question. I was about to ask if we conceded 4 in a game before. Just watch episodes 2 and 3 for that one. As Lukaku's in the box, playing it across to Pulisic. Oh dear. Here we go. This is where we've got to stay switched on. They've pulled one back. It was terribly defended. Jose Sarr didn't know what was happening. He was thinking about, booking his accommodation for the next time down. Again, same old story of us conceding, where they take it to the byline, they dribble it around, they cut it back, a couple of quick passes, good little dribble move there from Pulisic around Semedo into the side netting. A great finish, nothing Jose Sarr could have done really, but it would have been nice to see him attempt it, I guess. With all due respect to people who love defending, or watching a good organised defence, I don't give a heck about your bloody clean sheets right now. This is the FA Cup. Doesn't matter how many you bloody win by, just bloody win. Just bloody win. That's all we need. Brought on the fresh legs of our young gun, Aidan O'Neill, who now, I think he's only like 2 maybe overall behind Fabio Silva. So the fact that we're using a youth product in our first team probably isn't that all that far-fetched when you consider that, well, oh my god. It's happened again. I was just talking. This time it's about the season. It's not about what's happening in the game. And Pedro Neto has somehow held off the absolute fridge Reece James. Got away from Rudiger, got away from Kovacic, I think that is. He's held off Reece James. He's fired it into the sort of top corner. Edouard Mendy hasn't gone for the ball. He's gone for a different ball again. He has the same disease that Hugo Lloris had. And that is... It does say 5-1 down below. Wolves 5, Chelsea 1. And it's getting to that time where... You know, I mean, I don't know if some fans would have started celebrating at 4-0 or... And we've won a goal. We've got a goal kick out of that. We'll make a sub there. Oh, we're going to do... This is a Dylan on the ball rarity. We're going to push the team up the field and just try and waste a little bit of time before lumping it up. I wonder if it would be getting to that point where Chelsea fans would be leaving now? Or would that have come at 4-0? Oh, and we've won the header too. That is... We're in dreamland. This is... Like... I know fantasy football is a thing where you, like, you know, pick your players or, you know, whatever. Oh, and it's Aiden O'Neill. Oh, he's hit the post. He was going to be our boy. He's one of our own. Aiden O'Neill hits the post in the FA Cup semi-final. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I am, you know, just ear to ear. Roman Sace is playing left back. He's cutting it back for Ruben Neves, who gets one saved before... Oh, I thought we were going to be able to get Pedro Neto there to fire that one in. As I was saying, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I am... in disbelief. I don't know. I would say that I'm, you know, bouncing off the walls with joy. But I'm... Oh, as we've somehow dealt with that one. We will have to face a corner. It might be the last action of the game. I'm just... Oh, we have conceded again. I don't care. I just don't care. It was a header at the edge of the box from... I think that was Marcos Alonso firing it into Lukaku, who's celebrating in front of the Wolves fans for some reason, down 5-2. As we said, a corner just floated towards the edge of the box. Cody cannot beat Marcos Alonso in the air. Headers it towards, I guess what was the far post, where poacher Romelu Lukaku manages to just get enough contact on the ball to take it away from what would have been an easy clearance by Ruben Neves to make it 5-2, and that might be it. It is. Our wonderful Wolves have won at Wembley against an absolutely woeful Chelsea side. I'm trying to use all my W words. So 22 minutes in, it was Raul Jimenez being played in by Ruben Neves this time. It's hard to say those two names back to back. I'm surprised I haven't screwed that up more, like Leeds and Leicester. A good turn there from Ruben Neves. Good little ball down the side for Raul Jimenez to fire it past Mendy for 1-0. He got himself a second here. It was, again, just a little ball down the side between the left centre-back and the middle of the three. Christensen again. Ross Barkley getting the assist there for Jimenez's second as he's able to fire it across Mendy into the far corner. And we're up 2-0. Jimenez got his hat-trick. It was an overlapping run by Nelson Semedo. A bullet header, one over Andreas Christensen. About 6 yards out. Possibly Mendy could have got there if he was in a good position to start with, I'd say so, just because it was a sort of floated cross. But once Jimenez wins that, there's not much you can do with a header of that power. Pedro Neto then made it 4-0. It was floated in sort of poorly, really, by Daniel Podence. Christensen probably should have dealt with that one, whether it's a header or a volley, but the bizarre acrobatics of Jimenez allows the ball to just sort of dribble through to Pedro Neto, who puts his foot through the ball, comes off probably Mendy's face into the corner for 4-0. Pulisic got one back. It was, I think, Koeman getting down to the byline, cutting it back to Lukaku, who gives it to Pulisic. Good little dribble move, dragging it just past there. Nelson Semedo's tackle, firing it into the side netting before Jose Sarr could even blink. Pedro Neto got his second. He drifted in from the right-hand side, sort of bounced off a couple of challenges, fired one into sort of the top corner. I don't want to say the top corner, but high in the net and a bit to the side is probably a better way to put it. Mendy, I think if all things being true and correct, probably saves that one, but we'll take the 5-1. Right at the end, possibly just about the last header of the game, definitely the last header of the game, was Romelu Lukaku steering that one in. It was Marcos Alonso winning that first header against Connor Cody. Then Lukaku, having got away from his man, I think it was Saïss marking him maybe, does well to react and get a flick on that one to make it 5-2 before making a fool of himself and celebrating in front of our fans. So thank you very much for watching a beautiful, wonderful moment in Dylan on the Ball history. We've made it through to our first cup final. As you'll see here in the league table, Leicester City have had a draw. So if we win our next fixture, which you can see on the right hand side is against Brighton, we'll actually be up in the top 4 and in a Champions League place with just 4 games to play beyond then, which would be just absolute scenes to make an FA Cup final against a side we've just beaten 8-0 and to be in a Champions League place with a Wolves side that we didn't really do too much to, just the sort of small additions, I guess. I mean, they haven't been small when you look at their impact, but the non-marquee signings of Ross Barkley, Yusuf Poulsen and Matasiwa have gotten us to an FA Cup final, and they might be getting us Champions League football. Fingers crossed about that one. Anyway, next video will be the FA Cup final. We've got 3 games before then. It is Brighton, Chelsea in the league, and then Burnley midweek before the FA Cup final against Everton. That will be the penultimate video for the season, where we'll then have, I think it's Norwich midweek before we play Liverpool on the final day of the season. So we might have something to say about the title race, maybe. But hopefully we've secured some sort of European football before that point, so we aren't depending on having to get a result against Liverpool away to secure any European football. But we will get to that when we get to it, I guess, after another trip to Wembley. That video, again, I guess with the game against Liverpool, that video will include a bit of a wrap up of the season, so we'll have a bit of a look. I guess sort of go through some statistics for the players. We'll have a look at the league leaders, like the top scorer Alex Lacazette and that sort of stuff. But before we get to that one, it will be the big one, the chance at a trophy, FA Cup final against Everton Football Club. So until next time, when we go again for our first Dylan on the Ball trophy, peace.